Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to start with last night's City Council Committee of the Whole meeting. And this was a continuation from last week. If you remember, last week we had a Committee of the Whole meeting, which was regarding the pay-as-you-throw trash system that has been proposed by Councilor Peter Marchetti, Councilor Pete White, and Councilor Earl Persip. So they were going through a presentation last week. As they kind of went through that a little bit, Councilor Mafuccio, when he was a little bit done, was getting ready to get to the questions part. And Councilor Mafuccio called a charter objection and shut that when a counselor calls for a charter objection, it immediately stops discussion on that topic for the night, which is what happened. So that got pushed back to last night. Wednesday the 17th was a continuation of that, and this was for the petition from Councilor Peter Marchetti, Councilor Earl Persip, and Councilor Pete White to implement a pay-as-you-throw trash system. And it was an interesting conversation. It was a long meeting. It ended up being tabled. The whole discussion basically seemed pointless because the community wasn't there to really voice their opinion on this, and it ended up being tabled. So the funny thing about that, and it's not really funny, but one of the big things the council just pushed for was to limit all meetings. They put a time cap on them and use their time more efficiently, and then they wasted however much on this topic over a couple weeks, which right now is, bottom line is, regardless of any kind of proposal on trash right now is not the time to talk change. It needs to be when the community can attend meetings and speak at an open forum and voice their opinion and hear presentations themselves, without it being on Zoom or this or that, which is not easy for a lot of people. So it was just a ridiculous time to do that. This is a campaign year, and it had a lot of opposition to it, so it got tabled. I wish they voted on it. Just so the councilors who wanted this could vote yes, and the councilors who didn't could vote no. And it is an election year, and it would set a clear difference to do it now. I think it would have been a good time. But they had, before they tabled this, Councilor Persip put in a amendment, which they voted on and was approved. That did pass, that they wouldn't implement anything until at least July 1st, 2022. I don't know. Again, now is not the time to be talking about this. It's ridiculous. This was kind of weird. So Councilor Marchetti said, because look, I came out and I did a video the other day, and I said, again, toter programs, when you're talking trash programs, and for the millionth time, I'll make this very clear, now is not a time to change or implement any kind of new program. I don't support any of that right now. This is going to have to be a big community discussion, and you want to change when you make the changes to something that works for everyone's happy with, and it's an improvement, and it's going to stay. So that's just crucial to do it the right way. It's going to take time. You can't just push something through like this, and if it doesn't work, we'll discuss trash some more in another year or two. But I like toters for a multitude of reasons. And I've lived in many communities where they have toter systems. And one of the biggest problems with just having bags out on the curb is litter. Whether it be crows or cats or raccoons or whatever kind of animals, which we are in an environment, we have that type of environment here, where everything gets ripped open. Trash day in most neighborhoods, you can look, and there's a lot of litter created on trash day. And a lot of it is from that. Toters, when you implement a toter system, there's uniformity. It immediately takes the bags off of the street, and it stops that problem. You notice a difference quickly, right away, a reduction in litter, right away. And now Councilor Lampiazzi kind of laughed off that idea last night when she was talking about this program here, the pay as you throw. She laughed off the idea of toters, and she said, for one, many of her constituents are senior citizens who I mentioned that I used 96 gallon one. She said a 90 gallon or something like that, or that they wouldn't have the trash to put in it and they couldn't move it, or something to that effect. And then in that same sentence, she said that she drove her ward and there was snowbanks piled high with tons of trash bags and unbelievable amounts of garbage. And I thought, wow, I wonder who picked it up and put it there. I mean, if they couldn't even move a toter. So it was very confusing. She didn't have a clear-cut answer. But here's the thing with toters, okay? Toters, this is why toter programs do work if you do it right. One of the communities I lived in, we had a choice of 3 different size toters. They were all fitted where the truck can pick them up. You didn't have to get the ones that I did. I wanted the biggest. I had gotten 2 of them at first, and then I didn't need that. And I paid the extra for 2, and then I had them come get 1. And I had a 96 gallon, and that was more than enough. Because part of their policy also is that lid has to be shut. You cannot jam stuff in there and leave the lid, the lid has to shut smoothly. And you don't want to cram stuff in there, because the arm, when they're dumping it, if you pack stuff in there, it won't come out. It'll get stuck in there. They usually only bang it twice and then set it back down. So anyway, I had the 96 gallon. We had the choice all the way down to, it was less than half of that. I want to say a 35 gallon. But I did the big ones. So you can get different sizes, for one. It's not some huge thing. I mean, you're talking something that the 35 gallon, it maybe weighs, I don't know, 7 pounds, something like that. You put your garbage in it and wheel it up there, and it's easier to wheel your garbage up there than it is to carry it. And if you're a senior that cannot do that, and you're struggling with that now, where I lived, they had a sticker program for seniors where it's a big colored sticker that they put on the toter. And those ones, they went up and they'd get the toter for any disabled or senior person, and they'd bring it down, empty it, bring the toter back. Problem solved. It instantly starts to reduce litter, and it's clean. It's uniform. The neighborhoods look so much better. That's why communities implement those. They work. I think that's worth looking into down the road when it's the right time to discuss trash. As far as Councilor Lampiazzi's answer to that, it didn't make sense, because this is also coming from somebody who wants to spend $1 million from our free cash account on air filters or something for the school. Something, I don't know, something ridiculous that didn't make sense to me right now, and wanted to spend $1 million on it. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Councilor Mafuccio was completely against this. Councilor Connell, Councilor Morandi, same thing. They wanted to see the finished on what they already proposed. They wanted to see what had come back from recovery, resource and recovery, with the finished work on what they had already proposed. They said they've been waiting on that a couple years, so why look at another plan before we've even discussed the other one? Councilor Persip, I hate to say this, but he used that technique. He often does this, and this isn't a personal attack on him, but driving a wedge between people. He basically said that our senior citizens on fixed incomes were the ones paying and supplementing for, the people with more money using more trash. And this, look, the system is what it is. Don't go blaming the residents. I mean, and nobody's using our senior citizens. We don't have a good system right now. I don't think driving a wedge between citizens to try to press this issue was smart. I don't like that type of tactic. But anyways, that was that. So it was Marchetti, White, and Persip for this. There was so many things discussed. It got tabled. It's not going through right now, but it could pop up whenever they decide to bring it back up again. And I hope people seriously take take a look at toter programs and why they're good and why. I mean, just putting a bag out like Councilor Marchetti saying it won't change anything. If you want to put it in a container, put it in a container. If you don't. Well, no, that's not changing anything. We'll still have that litter and all that we have now. You got to be, man, it's an election year, people. Remember that. Definitely remember that. So that's that. And it was tabled, and that was the end of discussion, and we'll move on to whatever else happens. So I hope people are considering running for the council. The more, the merrier. I want more people. Quite a few have messaged me, and I'm excited about that, but I want more. The more, the merrier. And look, don't be intimidated by it. I think, the only requirement you have to have is you have to be a resident. And that's it. So, I don't know. I hope more people contact me. I'll point anyone in the right direction. And then I'll be doing interviews and all that as the season goes on. And I will offer them to everyone running, including our incumbents. Those who choose to accept, awesome. And we'll have a good year with that. So I did want to mention something real quick also. So I want to thank again all the artists that helped out with the New Year's Eve show. That was a lot of fun doing it. The night of posting it, New Year's Eve, that was when I decided, yep, now's the time for a vacation. Everything went wrong that could go wrong with Facebook, and their uploader wasn't working. I couldn't go up live, and then when I uploaded it, the audio wouldn't sync up. I don't know why. I had to keep re-uploading it, and it kept getting worse. Finally, I couldn't wait anymore. It was getting later and later, and I had to post it. So it was really stressful. I wish it went smoother. I wish we'd raised a little bit more money, but again, I think that was because the way I got the video out and the time and how everything worked out. But a huge thank you to all the artists who helped out with that. And I have something planned, as I mentioned to Trevor. And Trevor, give me a call, or if you see this. If you don't, I'm going to be reaching out to you. But where I definitely want all the artists that were involved in that to be involved with what we have going for St. Stephen's Table. So I'll be following up with everyone on that. And this has been a great year for a lot of we got the Warming Center, the Christian Center. Thank God that finally happened. Thank God the issue with homelessness is at the forefront. We need to keep it there. But yes, so I want to follow up on all that with what we have going on with that, and that should be exciting. So I'll be reaching out to the artists again, and another big project in the works that it just kind of happened. So basically, I was working with some local musicians, and I had been working with a label that a friend of mine owns. And the idea was I was getting a certain amount of songs ready in the near future here and was going to do something through them. Unfortunately, that fell through, and I was pretty bummed out about it because the way it happened, it was kind of going to be a surprise type thing. It was just, there was still some stuff in the works, and I needed to see if it was going to happen. So anyways, so that came through, but things fell through with the some of the musicians I was playing with, scheduling, things like that just didn't line up. So I was bummed out, and I called them. Basically, I called my buddy at the label basically to say, it's a bummer, but I'm not going to be able to do this. And I just wanted to talk to him. I basically really ended up just venting to him, and he came up with a great idea. Which was really exciting. And so I'm going to, through this label, going to put a 10-song album, you could call it, but it's all digital. But 10-song album together, which I'll be composing with another artist that I've been working with for about a year now. Anyways, me and this other artist are going to compose all the music for this. And then I'm going to reach out to all our local guitarists and local players and have guest artists feature on different songs and try to work with as many of our local artists from every genre of music you can think of. I don't care. I'm all about music. To me, it's all music. I don't care what it is. And be able to get this out on an actual label with a real release. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I will be filling everyone in more with that. I've just got to work out the details. I have some guest guitarists that are going to do some stuff on it, and again, I will finish up on that. I just got to work out the details. I can say that one of them, maybe two of them, but one of them is already inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So some pretty well-known names that are going to do some guest leads on some stuff. So this could be a really fun project that I want as many local artists that want to be involved come in, lay a track down on a song, or do some backup vocals, do some bass, guitar, leads, whatever. We'll work it all out. But it's exciting. So I will follow up on that, and I'll be reaching out, I'm sure, to the musicians that I worked with first on the New Year's Eve show. So that's it for now. So that's all good. No pay as you throw trash right now. That's all good. We'll see what happens with the storm and the plowing. I'm going to have to do a whole video on that. Some of the photos that have been sent to me, and a lot of people upset, and legitimately so, with some of the stuff I've been seeing. The plowing seems to be worse. It seems to be a problem right now. So that's something worth discussing and figuring out what is happening. Is it a management problem? Is it a money problem? Is it a personnel problem? What is it? But it's a big topic. So I want to go over that as well. So again, that's it for now, and I will catch you. Well, depending on the snow. What's today? Thursday. I'll catch you all on Saturday morning. So everyone have fun in the snow. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Get your vaccine. All the things you can do. And I'll see y'all on Saturday morning.